Hella, how are you? What are you doing on this lovely Saturday? John, what's up? You working on baits? Working on baits. What you working on? More square bills sitting at the soccer field. Lovely day for soccer, I'm assuming. It's hot as Hades down here. JV, what has the bean been saying lately? Oh, she's been having all these words where she says, like, oh man, oh shoot. And her most recent one is, oh, like when she messes something up, oh, biscuits. I said, did you just say all biscuits? And she's like, yeah. It's like, I like that. Where'd that come from? She's like, I don't know, made it up. Okay, we'll stick with that one. Anthony, Tom, thank you. In the 90s. Yuck. Yeah, today was quite, or this week was quite the week. Uh, it all went downhill on probably Wednesday. I stayed home because I had an order from Rock Auto that I needed because I've got a wheel bearing out on my truck. I don't know how I made it home. I went to Birmingham over the weekend. I don't know how I made it home from Birmingham, but I did. And it was pretty bad. Letter hello. It was pretty bad while I was up there, and I didn't notice it until I was like gone. You know what I mean? Like I was done, and I was already I was already there. I was already, you know, locked in. So um, I just said we'll just roll with it. If it goes out and my tire goes flying off, oh well. So I made it up there, made it back, and it was gradually getting worse. Like it started when I would turn to the right, it would get you'd hear it squealing, and then it just started squealing. Period. And I was like, this isn't good. And I got to the shop on Monday and I jacked it up, and you could like shake the thing. It was on its last leg. So I ordered the parts, and they were from Rock Auto, and they said they were going to be here on Wednesday between 10 and 12 from FedEx. Um, and FedEx is usually pretty legit, or like at my house. Like they show up early, they bring your stuff when they say it. They say they're going to. So knowing that, um, I I said, you know what? I will wait on this package and take my parts, go to the shop, put them on Wednesday after they get here, and then drive home. Everything will be fine. Well, I get home and I wait and I wait and I wait. There's no parts. So I come up here and ship some stuff off, but I don't have time to actually do anything. And I they end up showing up at like 7 that night. So Thursday, I get up, take the kids to school. Amy was out of town, so I was by myself with a truck without a wheel bearing. So I borrowed my mom's car, and then took them to school. Drove to the shop here, left my truck here, uh, put the wheel bearing on, took it for a cruise around the street, and it was really, really awful grinding sounds. Um, so I said, something's wrong. Something is dicked up here. So the funny thing was, my dad sat there and watched every nut and bolt be removed. He watched every second of this project, and he just stood there and he held the pry bar a couple times, but for the most part, he just supervised. But what he let me do, and what I screwed up, uh, I put on the dust shield that goes on behind the bearing. It's like the when you get the bearing off, the first thing you put on is that little metal dust shield. I put it on backwards. And if you've done this, or if you're planning on doing it on a Silverado, you can put it on backwards and the brakes go on. It's the weirdest thing ever. But what I didn't notice was that the brakes, the caliper and the brake pads fit over the dust shield. So my brakes were not braking on the rotor, they were braking on this other piece of metal. And it chewed it up pretty good. But it sounded awful. But so I got to um, I got I got to take everything off and do it all over again. So my little hour and a half project turned into a 3 hour, 4 hour project because I had to redo my work. And of course, it was the very last thing. Um, Beard was testing me, I guess. Well, I also changed out the outer tie rod ends, and he bet me because it's got like a retainer screw on it or nut, and he was like, and I said, "Give me a wrench to take that nut off." He's like, "That nut's attached to that. You got to pop this off." I was like, "No, it's not." And he's like, "Yes, it is." I was like, "You sure about that?" He said, "Pretty damn sure." I said, "All right." So I popped the end out of the knuckle and twisted it, and it started turning. And he was like, "That ain't attached." I was like, "No, it's not attached." He was like, "Huh." It looks pretty clean, Burns. I've only done two, but they look. I don't see any. I think I'll be able to hit these just with a Scotch-Brite pad and not have to get into the sandpaper. These look real clean. Uh, I don't think I'm gonna have to get too gritty on these. These look real nice and shapely. Burnsy, whatever you did, different seemed to work. I think he changed his sandpaper, Brendan. Maybe it's just the nature of certain baits, Burns. I don't know. Gotta get that proactive. What happened to that stuff? Stuff used to be everywhere. 120 was cutting too much, too rough. So you switched to two something, 220, 320. But I do have some baits. 320. Yeah, it's nice, very nice and smooth. Very nice. The campsite has grown weeds. It's been so long. You are exactly right, Jeremy. I was getting withdrawals. I I thought I had these at home and I was going to do them on Wednesday night because Amy was out of town and it was just me and the girls. And I said, you know what? When the girls go to sleep, I'll go in the living room, maybe do a little live stream, try and catch up on some bait sanding. And the bean said, I don't feel good, Dada. I want to sleep with you. I said, well, I'm not ready to go to sleep. I got stuff to do. Please come lay with me in your bed. I said, okay. So no, the bean won. Sorry. 3M is the best. I've got others that I use for other things, but for baits, 3M is the best. It is the best. I don't like using terms like the best because that's uh, questionable, but sandpaper 3M is the best. Working on a Magnum tailspin. I think I should incorporate a swiveling line tie. I don't know, just look at Mickey's. You seen his, Brendan? Or are you too young for that? Did anyone catch the day one live weigh-in on Champlain? Anthony, I honestly didn't even know they were going there, dude. Like I saw him talking about like the tournament coming up, but I didn't see a lot of on the tournament, and then it just kind of started happening. It's like, oh, I guess it's time. Um, Brennan, yes, Mickey has a tail spinner, and shortly after Mickey's came out, you know, within the next year, I think Piz came out with one, and it didn't last long. Mickey's didn't last long. Um, yeah, there's been a lot of them over the years. Mickey's looked awesome. Uh, he was supposed to send me some of those to paint. Let's see. 316. I don't know if there are images of that thing anywhere. It might be too, because he always deletes his pictures. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any pictures on Google Images. I don't see one. Uh, Is no longer has an Instagram, which is weird. Oh, his 316 Instagram is gone completely? It's weird. I bet his Facebook page is still up. Yeah. It's gone. He does that. I don't know what's up with that. Tailspin. AJ, what's up? Pose, people, photos, pose, glide bait. There it is. What's up, JP? I haven't caught a Mickey live lately. The last one I caught was on Instagram, and he was I don't think he was in a pleasant mood. Hungover, fun. Don't miss those. Yeah, get on Facebook and snoop around, Brendan. You can find probably a better look at it. I don't. The Piz one did not look at nearly as refined as his, but that that goes without questioning, probably. Uh, all he does is talk shit. Yeah, I think he was. I think he was burning his wife's ass up about something because he was talking about like his baits, and she kept jumping around. She was like, "Talk about the worms," and he got. I think he got annoyed. AJ were talking about 316 Mickey live streams. Brennan, I would agree 100%. But people love the taste of that Kool-Aid. People love the taste of that Kool-Aid, and they will tell you that it is the silver bullet. It is very Kool-Aidy. Con Air. Cyrus the Virus. UCA, University of Central Arkansas. Yeah, that's about all you can do. I watched actually when I was on my way back from Birmingham. I was looking for interviews to listen to because I was bored and I wanted to listen to like some talk. And I was gonna listen to that old uh it was like the Southern Trout Eaters dudes or somebody. It might have been those people. They interviewed Mickey, and it was like a long documentary kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I'll listen to that Mickey interview again. And I found one of his old live streams instead. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just check this out. But it was old, and he was very polite to everybody. Seemed to be in good spirits. No, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about that this morning, Kyle. I was like, oh, she's only an hour away. I said she can still leave school and then be home for dinner if she wanted to. Burns, are you talking about the one with the hardware? Lots of hardware? Ooh. Those might have to be like if we did those and they worked, Those would have to probably be very, 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 very limited to a handful. It is a secret. Nobody'd ever guessed that one, Burns. You could give 1,000 guesses and nobody would figure that one out. You pop the eyes out. I haven't attempted that yet. They are the Spros are much more pleasurable to paint. I have 2 to paint now, and they are much better to paint. I also have this guy. Those of you in the swim bait world might know what this is. Um, what is going on? But it's a big Eon. Got some little ones to paint. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Any dates on him possibly dropping the 9-inch ones? No, not that I know of. Any recommendations on a good buzz bait? I've tried a lot and most suck, which is Squeaky Dolphin. What's wrong with the Booger Man, Bob? What's wrong with the old Booger Man? She did her schedule right. She could. My niece dropped the ball. She didn't submit her dorm grant in time. She got to drive an hour and did early classes. Now she has to get up at 5 a.m. Yuck. The last 2 you got, what was wrong with them, Bob? What is the issue you found with the new boogers compared to the old boogers? Secondly, what are you looking for in a buzzbait? 3/8. Jeremy. Their half ounce is the giant one. I'm pretty sure. If you ordered a half ounce Booger Man expecting like a half ounce lunker lure, you would get the giant gorilla. gorilla size. I think the musky one is a ½ ounce. Maybe not. I think that's what they consider a ½ ounce. This one's even bigger. Look how much bigger that head is. Same size blade. Yeah, I think these with the giant blades are ½ ounce, and this one's like, I don't even know what that is. It's like a 1 ounce. Fuel pump looks pretty good, right? Would you put that in your car? Do we have any car gurus here? I have a question. I'll try the blacks. Thanks. Those Megawasts are pricey, but you say they're worth it. I'll try it. What about the Picasso? Look up the Picasso. They have a pre-squeaked one. Everybody sleeps on Picasso. Picasso does a bunch of shit that I would have done had I been in their position. Let me see. Amy needs to come up here. I have to go home in a minute. Car, yes, Jim. So my gas tank for my Silverado outside, my old one, it's a 95. There's a significant amount of rust, obviously, inside the gas tank if you look at that fuel pump. So I was going to take a little muriatic acid and dump in there, clean it out, recoat it. But the thing I noticed about it is it has this plastic tray in there. And I feel like if I put acid in that, it's going to melt the tray. So I'm guessing I'll maybe have to use vinegar. Or do you think because that plastic is meant to sit in gasoline indefinitely, that it would hold up to the acid? Couldn't get it to tune right. Shame on you, Picasso. Now I had short shank 4s on mine, I believe, JP. Oh, that's my rule of thumb. The biggest hook I can get to where they either touch or don't tangle. That's what I was thinking, Anthony. Trying to find another one. A new one's $200, but it comes with the fuel pump, and I've already got the damn fuel pump. I guess I could send the fuel pump back and then just buy the whole damn thing. But I really don't need a shiny new gas tank. But that's what I was thinking, like, for a truck like that, by the time you buy the shit, you spend $20 to buy some acid. You spend $30 to buy some gas tank paint kit. you do this, you do that, you spray it out, you wash it, you buy the baking soda to you know kill the acid. You do all that, and like you're halfway to buying a new one. Gas tank's better off going new. Yeah, that's what I tried to tell my dad. He was like, I think you can clean it out. And I looked inside of it and I was like, dude, that thing's a nightmare. I think the tray will hold up. Do test on some other plastic. Okay. I mean, the work. I was about to say I could just pour some in there and just see what happened, but then it's just wasting time. I think I need to go with my gut instinct that I originally had, that I got talked out of, was just buying a new tank and not even trying to clean that one. Like I can understand if you have like a rare car, but that one's not rare and the tanks are available, and I would rather just have a new tank. So I don't know how it got so damn musty. Time is money. Cleaning a tank will eat up at least one full day. That's what I was thinking. And I think that's the one thing that my dad never factors into anything. By the time you put all this damn concoction of bullshit in it, neutralize it, spray it out, dry it out, paint it, do all this bullshit, you're a damn week into it, and however many hours it takes you to do that, just buy the damn thing and get it over with. Like, but the more I went and I was like, well, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Maybe I can clean it. And I went and looked in it yesterday and said, this thing is awful. Had to deal with 3 different tanks, do the whole shit like you were saying, and the first one still ended up getting a new tank. Yeah. I think that's the smart move. I think that's the smart move. Sitting back there and finger fudging a gas tank does not seem like the way I want to waste time. So I'm guessing I will take my fuel pump back, or I'll send it back to Rock Auto and get a credit for the actual tank and pump. So I also ordered. Does anybody have any experience with those solder heat shrink things? So my whole wiring harness in that truck is destroyed from rats, and I ordered some of those heat shrink with solder in them. Brendan, I didn't figure it out, but I have an idea. I think I have. Don't heat them up too much. I heard they're very dependent on what style heat you use. Chris Turner, thank you. Accent Wheeler Buzzbait. I have heard that one's good. Yeah, I think that's what I heard, Anthony, was use a heat gun, not because I was going to buy one of those little I couldn't remember if you needed really hot fast heat or if you needed like delayed heat, like a heat gun. I was going to order one of those little butane like crack lighters, but you have shed the light. Slow. AJ was not the mole. AJ was too wasted to be the mole. But I ordered 500 of those. Later, Burns. Good luck. Everybody say a prayer for Burns that the college college drop off goes good. I remember me getting dropped off from college. It was bittersweet. I mean, Brendan, you're right. That is something very moly. That is something a mole would say. I redid all the wiring on my kayak with those. I learned the hard way with a Bic. Yeah, I'm on C. Don't even deserve this hangover. I only had like 8 beers. Ah, birthdays are catching up with you, AJ. Now you get to know what it's like to not be bulletproof anymore. Father Time is creeping up on you. The cabin filter? Yeah, the cabin filters are the redheaded stepchild of maintenance on a vehicle usually. Um, well, like I had a 2002 Tahoe. It had a cabin air filter. Um, uh, but the thing about it was you couldn't. It had an air filter. My 2008 does not have a cabin air filter. The other thing that is really dumb is that pretty much every car I know of has an external fuel filter, except my truck. Doesn't exist. It's in the tank. The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Could have been the Modelo's. Since yeah, it probably was since you're the since you sprung for a decent beer instead of the Bush lattes. It probably was the heavy. The heavy got you. South J, what's up? We're just in here charring it up. Anthony, a Modelo does sound real tasty right now. Very tasty. Maybe I'll get some on the ride home. I know one thing. It's hot as hell in here. So my other issue with this blue truck is I don't know which way to attack it. So I have the existing wiring harness that's in it is chewed up. And I don't know, but I have another one out of a junk truck. And I'm thinking I'm just going to take one by one, find the matching wires on each one, and then take the good one and cut it up to length and then attach it. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to be doing 2 slices per, because I'll have to cut the end off, splice it to a piece of wire, and then splice it again. So I don't think I want to do that many splices. So I think I'm going to have to cut up my good harness. I really don't want to fish it through, and I don't know how good it is. So I think I'm just going to use all the ends off of it. Finally caught my first 5-pounder for this year this week. What did it bite, Anthony? I had Mexican last night. We're feverishly waiting for Anthony to tell us what his 5-pounder was on. Let's see. Cod, I need you to paint me 2-3 glide baits just like this, 5-inch. That's a pretty beautiful herring. Pretty beautiful herring. Oh, wow. A lot of brown. A lot of green. Where was it? Sicky in less than a foot of water between lily pads. Are you not giving up the bait? Trophy Series scum frog? I have about 20 pounds of various taco meats left over from last night. Everybody had Mexican last night, apparently. Everybody was on that Mexican train. Oh. While I have everyone's attention, might be wondering what I'm sanding or what the Hellcat we've been talking about is. And it's that. Same kind of profile as an E1. This was a E1 alternative. Let's check the specs on it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I forgot we did this one. This is not the in-between one. We did 3, I think, and they were all in-between sizes. But this is the original E1 replica. We called, and it's not really not a replica. It's close. It's got the similar shape and length, but it's the side profile is a little different. Bill and line tie are similar, but we did it with a circuit board bill because I prefer those, and I could never get one in a WEC. So Burns used to build these for me back in the day. Pre-camp. South Jersey, I notice you wear a lot of black. Do you mainly throw black lures because your personality is more gravitates more towards the dark arts? It's not actually about the fish liking black. It's you what do people say? Like a yellow or chartreuse too. Red is your favorite color. Actually, how about that? Blood. Matt is the cause of all the Jersey Devil sightings. Trains pass and they see him hunkered down in the weeds, and they say, "What was that creature in the weeds back there?" It was South Jersey with his hood up. Brendan, but we can't see inside our bodies, bro. Blood isn't blue. I mean, it is, but it's not. A green frog is what's responsible for me getting obsessed with bass fishing with black dots on it. Back then, fish didn't see frogs, so it didn't matter. So here's a question I have. So, flashback to the 80s, and there were some hollow frogs that existed then. Why did those never really catch on? Was it the rod and reel and line wasn't appropriate for them? Because you have to think, if you went back in time and I gave you another frog, like if I sent you back to 1987 with a bronze-eye frog, you would blow people's minds. But I feel like you could still get a fair amount of bites on the regular frogs at the time. But I feel I honestly knowing now, like having my experience with a frog, if you sent me back to 1987 and gave me a scum frog or a snag proof or whatever was out at the time, I feel like I could like get some insane bites. You know what I mean? Like maybe people were getting bit on it and they couldn't hook the fish. Um, Maybe that's why they never caught on. You couldn't hook a fish. You would just get bites. But you would think somebody between then and the bronze-eye would have figured it out. Been like, dude, I get so many damn big blowups on this thing. I got to fix this frog. But I don't think there was enough people using them to try and fix them. It's weird. So if someone throws bright neon color palette, is that a sign they chase the rainbow? Maybe. Maybe. But like Mans had a little mouse rat thing. Um, Maybe there was some group of guys that like I don't know. You'd think there'd be a hack. You know what I mean? Somebody would have come up with a way to make those old frogs do right. Sharpen the hooks, get a stiff rod, find some right line. Like you wouldn't think that it would have taken 15 years for that to evolve. The tuner frog guys. Who are the tuner frog guys? South Jersey. hooks. I know. It's out there. It's a strange theory. Oh. Let's see, Burns recreate the pawpaw frog. That sounds ancient. I wonder what South Jersey. I wonder what the evolution of frogs were for them, or have they, like, what got them into tuner frogs? What was the gateway drug for tuner frogs? There had to have been one. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their thing. Attic. It's a good name. Japanese companies, they get it, dude. You know what I mean? South Jersey, you can probably relate to this. Like, you see all these, even like the small Japanese companies, like custom stuff, even if they're new, not that good, which you very rarely see. That's one thing I definitely respect from the Japanese guys is if they suck, they don't create a Facebook page for Japanese guy custom lures. They just suck in private until they're better than everybody else, and then they make a brand. Like you don't see, dumbass names like in the Japanese world of like catch 'em all customs or like bullshit like that. That's just so like generic and stupid. Like every their names are thought out, their brands are thought out, and they're not hokey and like bullshit. They take their time to be unique or at least have something different. Exactly. Why is that such a hard theory? I guess because it takes talent and it takes work and dedication to something. I guess that's why. Bite getter baits. Uh, yeah, that one. That's probably taken. I'm sure. But the thing is, if you do see a name like that in the Japanese market, it's typically satire or like nostalgic throwback to like some old like pawpaw company from the 80s. Um, so I don't know. That's the one thing that I definitely appreciate about the Japanese is that they don't try to be something they're not. They stay in their damn lane until they have honed their skills to like you know be something. Oh no, Beanbuster Web at home. Oh no. Oh, poor Bean. Oh, dude, she drilled it. Ooh, no. That thing is fat, dude. Oh, poor Bean. Buck and Bass is a terrible name. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Is that the clothing they do, the jackets and shit, the rainwear? Let's see. It looked like she caught an elbow or a knee to the face. That's typically how you get those. Because she was at a party and they had this big slide. I'm betting a kid came down the slide and caught her with a knee or an elbow or a shin or something. I guarantee it was on that damn slide. Somebody not paying attention. She was probably rolling around. She collided on the slide at the bottom with one of the boys. Go fucking figure. Yep. When I went over there and dropped off chairs, I was watching her stand at the bottom and then people coming down the slide not giving a shit. And I was like, this is not gonna end well. Because the little boys weren't paying attention, they were just reckless. She came off the slide and it was a bloodbath. Poor thing. It probably didn't hurt as bad as it did freak her out that there was blood gushing out of her face. She probably didn't know what happened. Yeah, she dick punched the kid. She punched the kid in the nuts. No, I doubt she retaliated. Could always be worse. She could have gotten her teeth knocked out. Luckily, she didn't. But won't be the first busted lip. I used to always get them falling on the floor. I'd like trip and like face plant on the floor and bust my lip. Little prick. Little prick. Just a split lip right in the middle. And it's fat, dude. It's fat. Still got her teeth. Hey, John. What was your Mexican? What number Mexican food meal combo did you order? And we can guess what it actually was. I chipped that tooth when I was a kid. I bit a spoon full of ice cream. I don't know what I was thinking. I had this brain malfunction. And I had a spoonful of ice cream and I bit it like it was a piece of steak. I just went but it was soft, and I just bit the spoon, chipped my tooth off. An idiot. No combo: steak, chicken, shrimp, quesadilla. Nice. The trio. I've only had about 2 hours of sleep since Tuesday. Get some rest. Later, Frank. Dude, it's like always right before it's time to go. Like I can't figure that they're going to be at that party much longer. And oh, it happened 5 minutes after I left. I was putting a chair out by the slide. Oh, so it's been a while. Stearman, I'm back. Just a comedy of errors this week. But I'm about to have to leave and go back home and go back on baby duty, which I'm okay with. Bean buster lips, so I'm gonna go hug up on the bean, make her feel better, maybe get her some ice cream. She probably doesn't need it. She probably had a gallon at the damn party. It does make you appreciate the good weeks. Travis, is it worth fishing Melbourne next month? Great question, AJ. Should we all come up and go fish Melbourne? John, I don't. I think I'm going to put. I think I'm going to put up. I'm going to see if I can do a poll on the camper page, and if I can run a poll on there, we'll just take like a vote, and we'll just do like a bracket style where you vote between like shad or crawl, and then break it down from that, and then do like two brackets versus natural, like cool colors, or like the hues. Do you want like brownie? You want like greeny blues, or you want like brownie reds? And then whoever wins out of that, and then we'll gloss or matte. I think that would be fun. You can do that on YouTube. Yeah, then we'll have people skewing. Choose your own adventure story. Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. Brendan, yes, I would like to. I wanted to do one this week, but hopefully everything goes right. We'll do one next week. One shad, one crawl, and then you vote. Do you want chartreuse or white shad? Do you want a bright colored shad, or do you want a white colored shad? Pick your flavor. Or I can charge more, and everybody just gets to pick their individual colors. If I get to pick, it's cheaper. If you get to pick, the price goes up, but then you get to pick your color, which is an interesting prospect. an interesting prospect. I could give that option. Very custom. Upcharge, and you get to pick whatever you want on them. Not a bad idea. John wouldn't mind for paying more. There you go. See? Probably take longer. Yeah. Would. Hence the upcharge. Bob would happily pay more and pick his own colors. There you go. There you go. Do you prefer the quarter Yellow Magic to the small Rico? They both seem great, and I can't tell if I do better on one or the other. I think they're the same bait. Wouldn't that be funny? Is there enough for everyone? No, unfortunately. But there are some, like AJ. I don't think AJ is going to be buying any. There's probably a handful that wouldn't partake. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Understandable, Jeremy. Was that Megabassy looking one I did, Anthony? I can't remember. I'm terrible with names because I typically, it's like the names of stuff that I put on colors typically don't they're not made to stick, you know what I mean? Because I'm just listing stuff, like putting them up just to have a color name. Stuff that pops in my head, like most of it doesn't have a lot of thought. AJ, what did you think about Hella's co-angler live? I saw the co-angler show. I was like, oh, let me prop up and watch AJ. Wait a minute. This isn't AJ. This isn't the king co-angler. Who is this imposter? Is that your arch nemesis? I haven't watched it yet because I don't need to. Because I don't need co-angling tips from an underling. I thought the same thing. I said, "Wow, this is gonna be great. Get to watch AJ do his thing again." Why isn't this AJ? What do you think about Castledown's videos? Jeremy, I haven't really noticed. I guess he's trying to play the block it card. I like that white crawl with the pink hue. I can't remember which bait it was. Maybe a rat brain. Oh, that wasn't a rat brain. That was a, I don't remember what I called that bait. But that was like a, it was kind of rat brainy, but not the same profile. It was tall like a rat brain, like a brim profile. Later, Anthony. Good luck. I'm about to go to. Kids are napping. South Jersey. Be honest. Did you pay 150 because you paid more because the stick was black with black net? Did you pay a premium for all black? It's okay if you did. Don't lie to me though. Didn't even come with a net. I don't know anything about lacrosse or buying the gear. AJ should do reverse on the co-angler tips. Tips for boater to get caught more when you have a co-angler. You could, AJ. I don't know. Like, what are the? I think there needs to be a twist on the co-angler thing. Maybe I should do a co-angler show. And my co-angler show will be how to destroy your boater, how to break his soul, but not break the rules. How to crush his ego. The guy I practiced with told me to do the same thing. Tips for boaters on fishing with a co-angler. I think you just go through scenarios of like how to read your boater and figure out his shortcomings and then how to exploit them. And make him pretend like he's digging in the cooler, but instead he's trying to dig through your backpack and find what worm you're using. You want to get off on the right foot with your co. Pack him a sandwich. Tell him he doesn't have to pay for gas. uh, Let him sleep at your house, in your bed, with your wife. Come pick you up from the hotel. Give them free baits. Pay his entry fee. My girls are 6 and 3, and everywhere I took the dance cheer camp is being. Yes, yes, Travis. We have camp signed up, or we have dance again. I'm assuming. Bring co-angler fresh made beef jerky. You keep 2 pieces. Give co-angler the rest of the freezer gallon bag full. Oh, my box is not dwindling by much. Yeah, it's a racket, Jeremy. And then guess what? When it's time for pictures, you get to pay for those too. And costumes and bullshit. And the program for a recital, buy pages for that. So yeah. Oh, well, she needs to have a couple tricks playing mind games. You don't strike me as a mind game. You don't strike me as a Jedi mind trick guy, AJ. Do you just kind of subtly mention things? Do you see him tie a polymer knot and then just randomly in the back be like, you know what's weird? I used to tie a polymer knot, and every time I'd set the hook recently, I've popped them off. I've missed like five-pounders from breaking off a polymer knot lately. It's like, what? Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's something with the way they're making line now. Is your line new? Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You won't catch a 5-pounder anyway, so it doesn't matter. Do you think that would work, AJ? My little scenario I just concocted? Yes, that would work. Does your boat always make this noise? You know, I had a motor just like that. It sounded a lot like yours right before mine blew up. What? Yeah. Yours is fine. I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You don't mind a little chartreuse dye on your back deck, do you? Like, hey, dude, I got this little secret tip on I like to do to my crankbaits and my soft plastics. Oh, really? What's that? Yeah. So I take a toothbrush and I lay my baits on the back deck, and then I dip it in spike it chartreuse, and I splatter back them. It looks awesome. Like, you do that where? Like, I'm just on the deck. I mean, I'll put down plastic, or I'll do it on the top of my bag. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be fine. You always had the cigarette burns back here. How many packs of cigarettes do you smoke a day? I don't smoke. Oh, where do these cigarette burns come from? One of my favorites is stopping my cast halfway through the air when I think the boater is in my territory. Hmm. What's the odds that the boater even picks up on these subtleties? Man, I love some cigarettes, South Jersey. But the problem with vaping is that you can vape anywhere. You couldn't smoke cigarettes everywhere. Vaping, you take a dump, vape. Take a shower, vape. Walk down the street, eating dinner, vape. AJ, I think that's what needs to be established. Is co-angler territory a thing that is off limits to the boater? Is anywhere in the boat cast wise off limits to the boater? I say no. Like if I see something like behind me that I missed, like a log or something, and I want to check it, I'm not going to look back and be like, oh, that's co-angler territory. Better not throw back there. South Jersey, you know what's bad? Is I really like the smell of secondhand cigarette smoke. And I really liked going into old diners and restaurants that smelled like musty cigarettes. Yeah, people smoke at the casinos, that's for sure. As a co, I have zero problem with throwing over the angler's head if they want to front end me. I mean, isn't that what you're? I mean, I feel like that's what you're signing up for as a co angler. You're at the mercy of the boater. Yeah, that's the only. That, I'm same, Kyle. It just stinks. Smelling like ass. But I like smelling it. I don't like smelling like it, but I like the smell of it. If that makes any sense. I don't want to smell like an ashtray, but I do like the way ashtrays smell. You want to fish with live all day, throwing right where they are. Jeremy been burning heaters for many moons. What's your sig of choice, Jeremy? Have you deviated brands in those years? Do you want your boat rubbing against a metal T-post that you didn't see? How long do you think your boat can teeter on this metal post back here? Huh? What? Oh, I'll just go to the other side. We'll get off, I'm sure. Do you want me to go stand on the other side? Sure. Everybody guess. Everybody guess Jeremy's cigarette of choice. I think he's a like a. I don't know. You got to be a Marlboro guy. You might be a cowboy killer, dude. Maybe like a Marlboro medium. I don't know. You don't strike me as a Camel Crush guy. uh, uh, you don't strike me as a American Spirit guy. I'll tell you what was good. Uh, what were they called? Camel Turkish Golds. Y'all remember those things? Newports, dude. I don't know how anybody smokes Newports. Those things were friggin' brutal. Brutal. I don't smoke, but if I want a cigarette, I would take a Marlboro Red. There you go. Dude, I feel like smoking one Newport was like smoking like 3 other regular cigarettes. Marlboro had to switch to Lucky Strikes because Marlboro $80 a carton. Holy shit balls, dude! You need to maybe I need to like mail you some. I guarantee you they're cheap. They got to be cheaper than that here, dude. I smoked my first cigarette when I was 10. I'm still smoking. I'm 73. Try to vape. It sucked. Yeah, Tom, I hit a couple of vapes in my day, and I felt like it was doing me more harm than a cigarette. You know how if you're out like drinking beer and you like get a little buzz and you're like, oh, dude, a cigarette would be good. No, hit my vape, and you hit the vape and you're like, dude, this vape is feels awful. Let me get that. Let me just get an old. Give me a old fashioned cigarette. The 10 cases, yeah. Turkish Golds. They had a lot of flavor, dude. They were good. Up north, they're over $100 a carton. Wow. I remember that's when my buddy Jeff moved from Staten Island to Austin. And he was like, dude, cigarettes and shit's so cheap down here. He said, I'm gonna smoke myself stupid. I was like, why? He's like, because in the city they're like $12 a pack. He's like, down here they're like 7 or 6 or something. I was like, yeah. And he smoked Parliaments, I believe. First time vapors all choke like they smoke weed for the first time. Pretty much. Pretty much. That thing was, vapes were really harsh. Very harsh. But physically, it felt like you were doing just, I felt like I was doing more harm with a vape than just a good old fashioned cig of weed. I don't crave the cigs much anymore, though. Use the vape. That's what happens to everybody. Everybody gets on the vape to quit smoking, then they love the vape. Bob, you still crave cigarettes, or does the vape? Do you just crave the vape? Do you walk by a cigarette and you're like, ugh? Then you walk by a vape and you're like, wow, sick cloud, bro. What is that? Kiwi rainbow watermelon? Oh, dude. They got all those fucked up flavors. How many are left? I don't know if I'm going to get to finish these before it's go home time. Maybe, though. Did they get rid of the Juul? Weren't those supposed to get banned or something? That's the worst. If you don't drink, Bob, you don't crave them. But as soon as that dirty alcohol hits your lips and you get a little, and somebody fires up a cig, you're like brain short circuits. I was a Marlboro man most of my life. But Pall Malls and came back because all the orthopedic doctors say you have to quit. Really? Or they won't work on you. That's kind of dumb. It's a tobacco festival. You know what's the same? Do cigs have flavor? Yes. Tastes like a cigarette. But they have each brand has its different little nuances. Like like if you have to frame a house, Brendan, you would probably want to choose a pack of Winston's for that type of job. It is Winston's are more suited for outdoor carpentry and sawdust. So I could be a I could be like a people going to ask if someone's willing to bomb a pack. Is he BBC? Are you playing Hey Mister right now? BBC, have you ever heard of the game Hey Mister? They all have their own flavor, and then there's menthol. Yeah. Good move, Brendan. Stay away. You've never heard of that game? Oh, it's how when you're underage, you get booze and cigarettes. You sit outside the gas station and lurk around, and you wait for some scummy looking guy to come up and you say, "Hey, Mister, will you go buy me some booze? Will you go buy me a 12 pack of beer and some cigarettes?" Yeah, kid. What do you want? Uh, Miller Lite and Marlboro Lights shorts. Camel Lights. Oh, got 20 people on cigarette talk today. JP played it. Dude, I remember this time we maybe this guy was being a dick. I think he set us up, but we're like, "Hey, dude, can you go buy some beer and some cigarettes?" And he was like, "Yeah, what do you want?" I'm like, "You want a case of Coors, some Camels?" And he was like, "All right." He walked back outside, and he brought us like a case of like some bullshit. It's like the Beast or something. I'm like, what is this shit? And he gave us a couple packs of cigarettes, and they were weird looking. When we got in the truck, the dude riding in the passenger seat opened up the cigarettes, packed them. He's like, "These cigarettes look weird." I'm like, "What do you mean they look weird?" He's like, "They're really short." I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Whoa." He's like, "These things are strong." I was like, "Let me see one." Handed them to me. It's like, "Yeah, because they don't have a filter." He's like, "What?" I was like, "A dude got us non-filtered cigarettes." He's like, "Oh shit." And the dude like, I think I had some needle nose pliers, and he got like his little roach clip. He's like, "How do you even smoke these things?" It's like, "I don't know, dude. I never smoked a damn non-filtered cigarette." But they were pretty bad. Pretty bad. Good old Camel non-filter and some Milwaukee's Best. What a great way to spend the evening. In Europe, they had kids sipping wine at dinner and chain smoking. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, but it's funny to look back on. Funny to look back on. Got my ass. But that's when you get that gets when you get to wherever you're going, and you just walk around and you're like, "Hey, you want a cigarette?" And they're like, "Sure." Like, "Here you go. Here you go. Here you go." Till they're all gone. Like, damn, he's real friendly. Guy's real generous with his cigarettes. Yeah, have you looked at them? They're real short and they don't have filters. Like, damn, that dude's a beast. Unfiltered Pall Malls. They do pack a punch, dude. They're awful. They are awful. My great grandfather smoked non-filtered Camels and lived to be 100. Yeah, probably not. Maybe the chemicals are in the filter. Who knows? Because the mooches. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Tom had to go to non-filtered because nobody would bum cigarettes off of it. Oh, that must have been a very long time ago. You don't catch a mini one in the morning, Jeremy? Is that the best cigarette of the day? Is that your preferred? I heard no one got cancer until they started putting filters on them. Is that true, or are you just stirring the pot, AJ? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, obviously, putting smoke into your lungs is not good, but uh, that would not surprise me at all. Remember those weirdos at parties that would like pull out a bag and roll a cigarette from the Oregon Trail or something? The real purists. The purist. The pipe smokers. Pull out a bag. Is that weed? No, it's tobacco. Like cigarettes? Yeah. But if given the choice, AJ, I would probably rather smoke just straight tobacco than whatever's in a filter. You know what I mean? Like, what's really in that thing? There's got to be some. Emphysema from the non filters. Rolled his own. All right. Fucking Sherlock Holmes. Best is being drunk and light the wrong end of a Marlboro. Is that better? Is that better than taking a sip out of your beer bottle and it being a dip spitter? What's worse, smoking the wrong end of a cigarette or drinking dip spit? Or maybe not drinking it, but it entering your mouth. Pretty vile. Dip spit for sure. All right, I'm going to take the rest of my work home with me and go relieve Amy, watch the girls, and let her come up here and do shirts. So, enjoyed talking to everybody tonight. My body is a temple. Great, good one, AJ. Stay away from the cigs. So, everybody, put down the cigarettes. Actually, no, my PSA is put down the vapes, pick cigarettes back up. They're probably better for you, and you'd probably enjoy it more anyway. Drink more dip spit. See y'all. Jeremy, burn a heater for everybody. Peace.